They told me I had 2 weeks to get out of their house. They said it in front of my 4-year-old daughter. My mom folded her arms. My dad wouldn't even look at me. My brother smirked like he'd just won something. But they forgot one small detail. 3 years ago, when they needed help, my name went on that mortgage. And when I sent that one text, everything changed. I knew something was wrong the moment my mom said, "We need to have a family meeting." Family meetings in my house were never about love. They were about control. I was sitting at the kitchen table, the same one I'd eaten at since I was a kid. My daughter Lily was on the floor coloring princesses in a glitter book. She hummed softly to herself. Innocent. Oblivious. My dad cleared his throat. My brother leaned back in his chair like this was entertainment. And my mom, the queen of dramatic pauses, folded her hands and said, "We've decided you can't live here anymore. Not we're struggling. Not we need to talk about finances. Just a verdict." Like I was being evicted from a courtroom. My stomach dropped so hard it felt like I missed a step on the stairs. "What?" I whispered. My brother jumped in. "You're 30 years old. It's time to grow up." Grow up. I was a single mom working 2 jobs. I paid for groceries. I paid part of the utilities. I handled Lily's daycare alone. But in their eyes, I was the failure. My mom sighed dramatically. "You've had enough time to get back on your feet since the divorce." Back on my feet. The divorce that shattered me. The divorce where my ex walked away and disappeared. The divorce they told me was my fault. Lily looked up from her coloring. "Mommy?" That broke me. Because she heard it. She heard her grandparents say her mommy didn't belong there. My dad finally spoke. "You have 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 14 days. To find housing. As a single mother. In this economy." I felt heat crawl up my neck. My ears rang. My hands shook under the table so badly I pressed them into my thighs to stop it. "I live here," I said quietly. My brother laughed. "No. We let you live here." That word. Let. Like I was a guest. Like I was a charity case. And that's when something clicked in my head. Because 3 years ago, when they were desperate, they weren't laughing. 3 years earlier, my dad had lost hours at work. My brother had terrible credit. My mom had refinanced too many times. They were going to lose the house. The house they loved. The house they bragged about. The house they said was ours. I was the only one with decent credit. I remember sitting at this same table. My mom crying. My dad silent. My brother pacing. "We just need your name on the mortgage," they said. "It's just paperwork. We're family." And like an idiot who still believed love meant loyalty, I signed. I co-signed the mortgage. Not as a favor. As a legal owner. Without me, they couldn't refinance. Without refinancing, they would have lost the house. I never held it over their heads. I never mentioned it. Because I thought family meant we protect each other. Apparently, family only meant that when they needed me. After the meeting, I went upstairs to our room. Lily followed me. "Mommy, are we in trouble?" That sentence will stay with me forever. I knelt down and hugged her so tightly she giggled. "No, baby. We're not in trouble." But I was. I sat on the bed staring at the wall. 2 weeks. I checked rental listings that night. The prices made my chest tighten. Security deposits. First month's rent. Application fees. I barely had savings. And I kept replaying my brother's smirk. That smirk. He'd always been the golden child. I was the scapegoat. If something broke, my fault. If something went wrong? My fault. If my marriage failed? Definitely my fault. And now I was disposable. By day 3, my mom started acting like I didn't exist. By day 5, my brother asked loudly at dinner, "So, have you found a place yet?" I wanted to throw my plate at him. Instead, I said nothing. Because something was building inside me. Not anger. Clarity. On day 7, I opened the folder. The mortgage documents. My name. Clear as day. Co-borrower. Equal responsibility. Equal ownership. I called the bank. "Can you confirm refinancing eligibility without all borrowers present?" The woman on the phone paused. "No, ma'am. All listed borrowers must consent." I felt my heartbeat slow. Steady. Cold. So if one borrower refuses? They cannot refinance. And if they can't refinance? They would remain under the current high-interest terms, which they were already struggling with. Meaning? Without refinancing soon, they would default and lose the house. I stared at the wall for a long time. Should I warn them? Should I remind them? Should I beg for basic respect? Then I remembered Lily's voice. "Mommy, are we in trouble?" No. We weren't. But they were about to be. On day 10, my dad approached me. "You've got 4 days left." 4 days. I nodded calmly. That night, after everyone went to bed, I sent the text to the family group chat. Since I legally co-own the house and remain equally responsible for the mortgage, I will not be consenting to any refinancing or loan modifications. If I am being removed from the home, I will be consulting an attorney regarding partition or sale of the property. Sent. 3 dots appeared instantly. My phone started ringing. Mom. Declined. Dad. Declined. Brother. Declined. Then the texts came. "What are you talking about? You wouldn't do that. This is our house. You're being dramatic." For the first time in my life, I wasn't emotional. I was precise. I replied, "It's legally my house too." Silence. Then my dad knocked on my door. Hard. "What is this?" he demanded, holding his phone up. I stood calmly. "It's reality." My brother stormed in behind him. "You can't do that." "I can," I said. "And I will." My mom's face drained of color. "You'd make us lose the house?" I tilted my head slightly. "You were ready to make your granddaughter homeless." The room went quiet. Dead quiet. The next 48 hours were deliciously uncomfortable. No more smirks. No more countdown reminders. Instead, whispers behind closed doors. My dad making urgent phone calls. My brother Googling cosigner rights. My mom crying. Suddenly, I mattered. On day 12, they called another family meeting. This time, no one was smirking. My dad cleared his throat. "We may have overreacted." "May have." My mom added. "Fire. We didn't mean for Lily to feel unsafe." Didn't mean. My brother couldn't even look at me. "We think, maybe you should stay. For now." For now. I leaned back in my chair. No. All 3 of them looked stunned. "I don't want to stay because you're scared. I want respect. A written agreement. Equal acknowledgement. Or we sell." My dad blinked. "You're serious." I've never been more serious. For the first time in my life, they saw me as a threat, not a burden. 2 weeks after they tried to throw me out, we sat at the table with a lawyer. The same table. This time, the air felt different. Professional. Legal. Real. They had two choices. Buy out my share. Sell the house. They couldn't afford to buy me out. And they couldn't refinance without me. So they agreed to sell. My brother looked like he'd swallowed glass. My mom cried softly. My dad looked 10 years older. When the house sold 3 months later, I received my legal portion. Enough for a deposit. Enough for stability. Enough to start over. As I walked out of that house for the last time, Lily held my hand. Are we going to our new home, Mommy? I smiled. Yes, baby. Our home. Not borrowed. Not conditional. Ours. The best part wasn't the money. It wasn't watching them scramble. It was the look on my brother's face when he realized. The useless sister. The burden. The single mom he mocked. Was the only reason they had that house in the first place. And the only reason they lost it. Not because I wanted revenge. But because they forced my hand. When they tried to humiliate me in front of my child. They forgot I wasn't powerless anymore. And power feels different when you've earned it. It's quiet. It's steady. It doesn't scream. It signs papers. Sometimes karma isn't loud. Sometimes it's just a signature on a document. They thought I was weak. They thought I'd beg. But the moment I stopped asking for respect and started requiring it, everything changed. If this story made your jaw drop, hit that like button. And tell me in the comments. Did she go too far? Or not far enough? And if you love real stories about family drama, justice, and karma, subscribe to Story X Daily and turn on notifications, because the next one might be even wilder.